Okay, today is special. If you've ever watched any of my other videos about hair mistakes that age you faster, where I share tips on how to create more of a youthful appearance, well, today is the day that I bring all of that to reality. Yes, it's a makeover. So our first makeover, our very first one, she's got an incredible story. I can't wait for you guys to meet her and for you guys to see what we do. So why don't we go meet Tracy? Oh, and while you're doing that, I'm gonna head that direction. Cool.
My name is Tracy now. I'm from Boise, Idaho, and I work in medical billing. My dad died when I was 20 years old, and I was a daddy's girl. I depended on him for everything. Just my whole world came crashing down when he died, and then I got married and I had a miscarriage. All of this happened like within a year. And so the weight and the, issues with food just started piling on. And then ever since then, my whole adult life, I've struggled. So I would do weight loss programs or these diets, and they would work, and then, you don't stick with it or whatever, and you gain the weight back, and it's just always been a battle. May of 19, I had bariatric surgery. When I went in for surgery, I was 252, and I've lost about 90 pounds.
And you lost 90 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's so insane to me,
inspiring.
Right?
Yes.
I remember people would tell me and my sister when we were little, and we'd have our hair up in a ponytail, like, oh, you shouldn't wear your hair like that. You don't have the face for it, because our face was too round. And so growing up, I always never wanted to put my hair up or anything, because, then when your family's telling you that, you're very self-conscious of it, So I've always had long hair, not shorter than like my shoulders. It used to be a lot thicker, but then again with the bariatric surgery, you lose hair, and so it's a lot thinner now. So I'm ready for another change.
Talk to me about length. Like in a perfect world, has there ever been anything that you've like in the back of your head been like, man, I really wish I could have this length?
Like really short hair, but it's scary because I don't know what I would look like.
Talk to me about how you style, like functionally, what do you do to your hair right now, like on a day-to-day basis?
Wash it and brush it like this, and then I let it air dry. I don't usually blow dry it unless I'm actually gonna do something with it, which is not very often.
I just like to ask the question, do you like the color to whisper, talk, or scream?
Probably in the past whisper, but I think now I'm more willing for like bolder,
How often are you pulling your hair back versus wearing it down?
Right now, most days, just because I'm working from home. Once I'm showered, I usually have it down, but then by the end of the day, because right now it's so hot, I have it back up.
How often are you gonna color?
I tell myself I need to do it like every 6 to 8 weeks. So that's what every time I get my hair done, I'm like, okay, Tracy, you're gonna go back 6 to 8 weeks and keep it up.
And then reality is you go back.
I was good for a while, and then things happen. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been this long, or, and then I just don't make it a priority, and I need to, So.
And when you walk out today, do you want to look familiar, or do you want to be like,
ooh, that's a good
who
question.
is that?
Who is that?
Okay, awesome.
All right, I'm excited. So why don't we go talk real quick over about what we're gonna do, and then you can relax, and we'll be right back with you.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, like when I see her, there's basically no layering, and which means that it just kind of drags everything down.
Right.
If we're coming at this from the perspective of trying to create the illusion of more youth, and when I say youthfulness, I think that really what we're speaking of is not like trying to look young, but trying to accentuate what we want to accentuate about your face shape, right? She's lost a ton of weight, which is incredible.
Isn't it?
I don't think this is a scenario where she needs to go just to cut it all off, Because she said one thing she said is she likes to be sporty.
Right.
I got sporty.
She
sporty. Pulls it back a lot. So I would personally prefer that we give her enough length to be able to pull it back, be able to have some softness that comes down that kind of frames the face a little bit, shows off the cheekbones, shows off the eyes a little bit, draws a little bit more attention to them, lifts everything up a bit, but also gives her some versatility so she's not just stuck with it being short, just to have it short.
Right. The undertone of her color is actually a purple.
It is.
And she's warmer toned. So you look at her eyes and she's got this really rich deep auburn color. And so we really want to draw that out. You can see how this purple just brings a little more yellow to her skin tone.
Yeah.
So she really likes the reds, which I think is great, that because she is a warm tone person, but she's more of a warm neutral.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where it's like we can't go too warm, but we definitely don't want the purple. So what I'm thinking, I heard her talk about blonde, and that's kind of a territory that she would like to dabble in.
She talked a lot about blonde.
And knowing that she wants to go at like, whoa, who is this?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at her hair texture, and I think if we create more of like a balayage blonde, so she'll still have her dark undertone because we know she'd like to maintain, but in reality she doesn't.
Yeah.
So we need to give her that longevity. So I'd like to go in and create kind of a more summery, beachy kind of balayage look. Still keep some of the dark, cancel out some of the purple, have a rich with a caramely kind of blondish highlights. I think would be beautiful.
Sounds good.
Beautiful.
I think that's a plan. All right. Let's do it. Okay, cut, check. Cut, what is this? Check. Cut, check. Color, check. All of it done. Now the question is, are you ready to see what happened? You excited? And how close can I get to Mount St. Helens? I feel like right now I'm pretty much at the summit. And there's definitely bees around me all over. Okay, back to the salon. Okay, so we've got you all, well, shampooed and ready to be dried. So you have an idea of what it's gonna look like, but not completely. But before we get you totally dry, I'm gonna walk you through the process of how you dry it so that you know how to style it. And I want you to know as well how to style the hair so that's not just before and after, but more of a before and after, as well as some insight into what you do to achieve the after. So in your scenario, we're trying to create more volume and more control. The easiest way we create volume is through adding actual bend, not root lift by itself, not bend at the ends, but actual bend from the mid shaft to the ends. We're gonna start with the foundational product. This does not have to be the specific product that I'm using. I'm gonna use fat hair, but with that said, just about any gel or mousse that you've been using to give volume, you're gonna use in the same manner. We're just going to use this particular way right now. I'm gonna have you start that, and you're just gonna pat it around the hair, but we really want it from roots to ends. So you're gonna start back here in the back, not in the front. So you're just gonna put those between your hands, so just do this with it. Yeah, there you go. And then you're gonna start applying that just back here in the crown area. So
Just
start
like
it.
pat it on?
You got it.
Back here.
Yep, just like that.
Like that?
Yep, perfect.
Up?
Yep, no, you're good. Yeah, just all over your roots. Just think, apply it like a shampoo. So now you wanna kind of put it in like you're putting in a shampoo.
Okay. Just
Yeah,
kinda-
yep,
Does that work?
yep. The only reason that we have you start in the back is because that's where most of your hair is. So if you start in the front, you're gonna get a lot of product there and around here, but by the time you get to the back, you're gonna have less and you might not actually get it in the roots and through the back where you want it. Now the next thing is we wanna get it dry, okay? From this point, we're just trying to get the product dry. That's it. I'm not gonna try to style it, meaning we're not gonna try to use a round brush or flat iron or anything. We're just getting the moisture out. The best way for you to do that at home would be to actually tilt your head upside down and dry it like that. That's gonna help get those roots up off of the scalp, start creating some initial root lift. We're gonna do it here, and I'm just gonna be holding the blow dryer down here so that it does the same thing. Okay, now that we've got your hair dry, we're gonna use a combination of the round brush and the flat iron. The round brush we're gonna use right around the bang area, even though you don't have bangs, but in the front, and just to help us get a little bit more lift and bend right through here and in the front, and then everything else we'll take through with a flat iron. Okay, so for this, I would section out the top, get it out of the way, and I would just use this on the sides and in the back. So you put this in your hair, you grab a big section of hair. So I'll have you just take this section right there with your hand.
Okay.
And then you're gonna take this, and all you're gonna do is, normally what you do is you would comb through it just to make sure, but I've already combed through it. You're gonna put that in your hair, perfect.
Like up top? here?
Yep, just like that. And then you're gonna, once you clamp it down, you're gonna start moving it out, right? And there you go. Now what I liked about what you just did is you kept everything was locked. So you did, all you did was pull that out. You weren't doing anything crazy like this. You're going at a good speed, right? So it was a normal speed all the way through. It wasn't super slow and then really fast over the ends or anything like that, or really fast. That was a good speed. You did that about spot on, and as you can see, you're getting a nice bend to it. But the most important thing is when you go over the ends like that, you're gonna create a much more crisp end. Crisp sounds bad, but a much more strong end, which is gonna make it, give it that little bit of more kind of polished edge, but you're still gonna get volume and everything because we've created that volume in the crown. You're done. Do you like it?
I love it.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did we do and why we did it? First of all, let's show you guys. What did we do and why did we do it? Talk about the color, Danielle. Why did you do the color like this?
Well, the color, I wanted to change it up just a little bit. Well, maybe a little bit more than a little bit. So the color wasn't bad. She did her own box color and it had that purple undertone, which really competed with her skin. So the first thing I noticed in the pictures is how her skin went yellow.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to bring out more of the peachy pink tones. She's kind of a warm neutral. And so we can play up a little bit more warm to it.
Yes, for sure.
So we highlighted, another few challenges we had was she did do box color, and she had previous highlights. So we had to compensate for that. So we balanced out the color, matching the roots to the ends. And I did kind of a balayage technique in foil so that I could do a color correction while we were transforming her.
It's really,
And then
really
we
pretty.
toned it with a rose gold, which really brings out the color in her eyes, the warmth of her eyes, balances out her skin tone, and beautiful.
Do you like the color?
I do. Yeah.
Do you love it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and as far as the cut goes, the biggest thing for me was just to make sure that we brought the length up enough to give us some movement so that we could, because the fact of the matter is, layers are always going to be dictated by length, right? So the longer this is, the longer we have to leave layering to make it all balanced. So bringing this up a little bit allows me a lot of opportunity to take those layers short enough to start getting volume where we want to get volume. On you, it was bringing you down so much and it was so heavy that having some lightness through here so that we can start creating more volume and more lift up in here, like in the area where your cheekbones are, so we start to really emphasize those. That was like a big thing for me. Also though, the biggest thing was being able to, because you put your hair back so often, that we wanted to keep this ability for you to get it back easily, but also if some pieces that fall, they're hitting right at your cheekbone. So again, they're also framing your eye, but as well as framing your eye, they're also accentuating that cheek a little bit more. And so when you see from the profile, right, this cut in here, all of this stuff still brings the eye up. And it really lifts everything up to me, I feel like.
I think so too.
I feel better. I feel more sophisticated.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. That's the biggest thing. Well, thank you for letting us do your hair.
Oh, it was fun. Thank you.
I appreciate it, I appreciate it. Hey, if you love this, you know where it's at. Hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, make sure you check out next Tuesday. We'll probably do another one of these. If not, very soon. Fair enough, right?
Good.
So we'd love to hear your comments. What do you think? You love it? Only comment if you love it, because if you don't, I'm just gonna delete it anyway. So whatever. You guys have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you very soon. Bye, guys.